Yeah, I was so far ahead that I was behind.
For sure.
Which,
Yeah,
I mean,
that's a great way to put it right there.
And I mean,
Do you still like to see a cool like innovation at Airzo at least? Because that's your stamp.
Oh
dude.
yeah, no, I get.
I don't care if people watch this and don't agree with you
no,
and me.
like me neither. For instance, Pedro Barros. You see that big tweaked Indy air he did in the in the wave pool? That was sick.
Amazing.
Yeah, like so that got me super stoked. I even sent him a message how like that was really inspiring for me, because like you don't see that on a surfboard because it's usually surfers that are doing it.
For sure.
And like, dude, I still got tricks I was doing in the 80s they don't do today.
You know you're getting locked up. You know you're a good human. You've just been in bondage to the addiction, and it drives you to do things you don't want to do. There's always going to be a lesson to learn, even if there's no blessing. Now I just want to help and give back, be a part of the solution as opposed to the problem. I'm going to interview professionals. I'm an ex-convict. It's a play on words. Let's have fun with this. This is the Pros and Cons podcast.
Christian Lee Fletcher, I would say, is surfing's modern day freaking cowboy. Dude, thanks for coming on to Pros and Cons podcast, dude. For me personally, dude, I'm really honored because growing up a surf and a skate rat, you were the first person and your brother that really was like looked at waves in a different way and brought that element to a wave. I think you're a renegade and a cowboy. You march to the beat of your own drum, and that's what I still love about you. Born in Oahu, raised in Capo Beach, spent time in San Clemente, and I think a little time in Sun Valley, Idaho as well, huh?
Oh yeah, you did your homework, yeah. Sun Valley, Idaho, when I was I don't know, I think we moved there when I was like 2 or something, and like maybe 3 and 4 like the winters, and then
Gotcha.
back in Capo Beach after that, or summertime in Capo Beach.
Sick, dude.
And then we permanently moved to Capo Beach like when I was like 4 or something.
Right on, man. Yeah, so you were a young buck too. Idaho's gorgeous.
Then started coming down to Carlsbad Skatepark.
Yeah, dude. That you want to talk about a throwback? You guys, I don't even know if they have that on Google. I'm sure it is.
I don't know, but I do know this. I was like thinking about it. Like I was skateboarding at Oceanside with my kid and Tony Hawk and stuff the other day. My kids started riding for Birdhouse. And
yeah, congrats to Grayson, man.
And so some kid came up that was named Smith. And he's all, after the Smith grind. I was like, oh, you know who invented that? And the kid's like, oh, no. And so we were telling him, Mike Smith or whatever. And then Tony was right behind us and I didn't realize it. And he's like, oh, yeah, well, who invented the Miller flip?
Oh, yeah.
And like my kid, he didn't get it right, and I was all, oh, Daryl Miller. He's all, yeah. He's all, like, I thought you get that. I was like, yeah, well, I've been like skating for an awful long time, Tony. Like, I was skating Carlsbad in '75 and stuff. He's like, whoa. He's all, you've been skating longer than I have. He's all, yeah, I didn't go there till 3 years after it was closed.
Yeah, people were still burning runs in there, dude, after they'd shut it down.
Well, no, he said there was some dude like with a fucking shotgun or something like that, like the rock salt or whatever. Like, no, you can't skate. Like, and I was like, no way, I've been skating longer than Tony Hawk.
Yeah,
dude, that's
dude.
sick.
You get that, Tony? Yeah, shout out to Tony. What another local icon and just good human.
Oh yeah, he's done more for the like extreme sports than anybody.
Yeah, and what's cool too is like. I know, and you too, Christian, because I've watched you from the outside looking in, like Tony. You guys make yourself accessible, unless you're a Barney and approach like a kook, you're going to be treated that way, but you're pretty open for everybody.
Like, I try to be, because, I've done a lot of promo tours. I made 7th in the surfer poll from, like, doing promo tours, not from the contest or anything like that, and, like, I'll sit there and sign stuff for every last kid, because they gave me a really good life. It's because all those kids buying the T-shirts and stuff like that I was able to travel around the world and, like
totally
see some of the most beautiful beaches in the world. And sometimes they're even decorated with hot chicks in bikinis.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah.
There's a little cherry on top for everybody.
Yeah, so I would consider myself lucky. And, like, even if I'm late for like late for a plane or something, if somebody wants a picture, I try not to be rude. Tell them, okay, well, hurry up, dude. Let's do this.
Well, for sure, yeah.
Yeah, just like that's gotta. They're the ones that made you.
Yeah, dude. I hate when people ask me for pictures and I might be late to board my flight.
Like,
Psych.
whatever. Like,
no, I'm making a joke about me. No, totally,
Yeah.
Christian. I know you're good with the youth.
I try to be the youth, the older guy. The biggest problem I have is that, like, I don't get the girls in the clubs that come up and say hello or nothing like that. I get the most fucked up, drunk fucking retard that won't leave me alone, But, like, whatever. I guess
Yeah, it comes with time.
That's the crowd I attracted.
Yeah, right. Now let's give a little bit of love to the family. Your son to Herby and DB and your brothers Nathan. But do you have any more siblings? I wasn't sure about that.
No.
Just
Only
Nate?
Nathan, and then he's got 2 kids now, Laser and Jetson.
Yep.
I was just on quiet skateboarding with those kids and
sick.
stuff. Yeah,
Heck yeah.
they're like 9 and 11. Cool ages.
Now let's also talk about, a lot of people don't know this either, but his grandfather, Walter Hoffman, and his grandfather's brother, Flippy, were probably some of the first California Chargers to brave the Hawaiian waters over there, right?
Yeah,
Christian?
they're considered some of the first Haole Beach Boys in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Like living and like camping out at Makaha and stuff like that, and riding.
Which is crazy too,
Dude,
man.
especially like the waves they were riding on the equipment they had was absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because they were riding waves I wouldn't even want to ride.
We're so spoiled
And they were
now.
on wood boards without fins and
Yeah,
shit.
dude. Especially when those swells come in, dude.
Imagine just trying to get that board to the beach. I don't even know if I could do it.
Yeah, because that was probably in the 50s, yeah?
40s.
Damn, dude, that's crazy.
Like, I seen pictures of my grandpa and his brother. Like, I seen pictures of them on the North Shore in 1948.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
And like a cool classic old car and shit like that.
That's I love that, nostalgic. And then your Aunt Joyce Hoffman was 4-time world champ in the 60s.
Something like that. Like,
and your Uncle Marty was also a Waimea standout too.
I don't exactly know who that is, but
Yeah.
but Joyce was super gnarly, and she got a statue on the sidewalk like just a couple years ago.
Right on.
And so when they were doing the unveiling of the statue, like I knew she won a lot of things, but I had no idea the extent of it.
Right.
Like, she was seriously gnarly.
Yeah.
First woman to surf pipeline.
Yeah, that's really cool, man.
And she won everything. Like, I had no idea. Like, I knew she won a lot, like I said, but like, I had no idea how much she won.
Yeah, so that's one heck of a bloodline to be steeped in those traditions, man.
And then my mom, she forgot more about surfing than most people will ever know.
Right. I know with Herby and just the extended family.
Well, I mean, she's been kind of at the forefront of all the different like changes in surfing, whether it was like going from the wood board to the foam board. She lived on the same street as Gordon Clark.
Yeah.
And like the shortboard revolution, the aerials, the big wave tow-in stuff, the big wave paddling stuff, with my dad and my brother.
Yeah.
And the aerials and all that with me, like all the way into the whole pro skating mix with my kid.
Yeah.
So she's seen it all.
Yeah, she's definitely
and she was at the forefront of all of it.
Yeah. Well, and real quick too, side note, DB has an amazing Instagram page. She posts some really awesome stuff. So I think it's at DB Fletcher.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, DIBI.
Yeah,
even though I don't think they spell it that way.
Yeah, DIBI, Dibby. She also does a column for Surfers Journal called Ask Dibby, I think.
Oh, right.
Or Hey
on,
Dibby,
dude.
one or the other.
Nonetheless, dude, it's just coursing through the veins since day one, dude.
Yeah, I didn't have a choice.
Yeah, day one. But you know what? What a cool, like, I think it's like any kid, right? You wait, you're growing up and your mom or your dad do this and that. It's pretty simple to see monkey do.
Yeah, and my dad was like a pretty gnarly, like, soccer dad in the way that it was like, God damn it, get the fuck out in the water, you little pussy. Even when I was like a little kid.
Yeah, you did.
But like, I've seen that with a lot of other kids too. But the difference is he would not only say that, but then he'd go out and do it with me, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's different than the dad that's on the beach yelling, because you see that a lot, you know?
Yeah.
And
for sure.
I feel bad for those kids. Like,
Yeah.
their dad sits on the beach and yells at them. Well, dude, if you're going to do that, why don't you go show them?
Well, not only that, but I think that Herby was more just wanted you to absorb it and love it. It was like dads now that to me yell on the beach just think their kid's the next
Kelly
freaking
Slater?
WSL pro.
Yeah.
They're no
fucking-
different than, you know, the term soccer mom or
Yeah.
soccer dad. It's every sport has that now.
Dude, my dad
unfortunately,
would-
even action sports.
My dad would yell at me. Oh, yeah, they all got coaches and all that bullshit. Like, they're not doing it because they love it. It sucks.
Yeah.
But, like, my dad was like, God damn it, get the fuck out in the water, you little pussy. But then he'd go out. Not only would he go surfing with me, he'd go out and drop in on me and run me over.
Yeah, totally.
But he'd also give me waves, too.
That's a fact. But then again, once you got your dirty lickings, bro, you got your waves.
Well, he taught me how I could surf with any crowd because he was gnarlier than all the crowds put together.
Yeah, for sure.
So, like, I didn't have a problem surfing.
And he's still doing it.
Oh, yeah, and I didn't have a problem surfing, like, Trestles or Pipeline or whatever when it was really crowded, you know, the right points in Australia. He took me all over, and he gave me a really strong backside. He's like, you know, you want to be a pro surfer, you have to have a strong backside because most surfers, they just want to go frontside.
For sure.
But he was a regular foot, and so he took me to fucking all kinds of sick rights. So I had a strong backside.
Yeah.
And
Well,
then
that's a beautiful
he
thing.
also said if I wanted to be a pro surfer, he's all, look, if you can't cut it at Pipeline, you don't count.
Right.
But he bought a room in Jerry Lopez's house and, like,
No
gave me
way.
the opportunity to be able to cut it.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah,
man.
so I quit school at 15 and moved there. And
Much love to Uncle Jerry, too. Another
yeah.
trailblazer.
that was, you know, super cool. Got to stay there. And then,
Now, is Herby mostly in Hawaii, or is he just split time?
no, he's, they're mostly in Palm Desert now.
Right on. Hey, not a bad spot.
They got a little pink house in the middle of the desert. And,
Right
like,
on.
it's fucking
Oh,
funny.
yeah. I saw the.
It looks like
Dibby posted that.
Yeah, it looks like some sort of like
Dude, it's
I
rad.
don't know, like a dollhouse or something.
Yeah, that'll be cool, man. I do like the desert, especially since I started riding bikes, man. Just that sense of open, vast space is like freedom. It's probably like the same feeling you get when you're surfing. You know, it's just open. There's nothing around you, but that's cool.
I don't know.
Man.
There ain't
that's
nothing
what
like
they
a
want to
tube
do.
ride, dude.
Yeah, for sure.
The only desert tubes you're getting in the desert is fucking.
Some throttle therapy.
No, you go to fucking wave pools or something. I guess.
Yeah, oh, that too. Or hitting the Pizzo, one of two. That too. There's that tube in the desert all over.
Oh, fuck. You ain't got to go to the desert for that one.
Yeah, no, you don't. But it's definitely out there, you know. Yeah. So as you were growing up, you know, and I know your father and then your brother started getting older too. So I'm sure you guys are definitely pushing each other too.
Oh yeah.
It had
Even when he was younger, dude, my brother, he's the only 11-year-old like I ever knew that had like his own, like he had an 8-foot Jerry Lopez Waimea gun.
Jeez, dude.
And like
At 8 years old?
he used at 11. Like at 11 he was surfing Waimea. Like I had to go out too. I was like, you know what, 16, 15. Like he surfed Waimea like 15 to 18 feet, and seems how he was out on the shoulder, out past everybody. Like, dude, a cleanup set came and he actually caught the fucker.
Yeah, dude.
And I was just lucky. Everybody got caught inside. I'd already caught a wave though, so I was paddling out. I got lucky because everybody else got caught inside, and he caught the shoulder on the fucker and like got the biggest wave of the day.
That's so sick. I've always loved Nathan too, man. I remember, I don't know if it was an old Vans ad, but you know, my brothers built a ramp in the backyard in 1985, and
Were they older or younger?
I'm the youngest of 4.
Oh, damn.
But case in point, my dad was a surfer, so I surfed a lot. I was a spaz. He had me playing all the sports, but I gravitated to action sports because back then it was just you. It wasn't like it was a team effort. But
I had to play soccer like for a few years. I played baseball one season,
yeah,
and
You're a
I went to
spaz, too.
tennis camp too.
yeah. Fun fact: Christian Fletcher went
when
to
I was
tennis
12
camp.
or something. 'Cause my mom wanted me to do something other than surf, you know, all
That's
summer.
cool though, dude. Hey, quiet it's kept. I work with a lot of athletes. Dude, tennis athletes are gnarly. Those games are long, and they're just shuffling from side to side and forward and backwards for hours.
Oh yeah, and then like
But that's classic.
not only did I go to tennis camp, I had to do she'd make me read every day.
Right on, dude.
Like for like I had to read like a half hour, and I got really lucky because like like my dad and my brother, their reading isn't that good.
Yeah.
And like I can read like, and once I started reading, I'd continue longer than a half hour because I get into the books, you know.
Totally.
And I got to read like I don't know, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Right on.
Tom Sawyer, all that stuff.
That's good adventure.
Moby Dick.
Yeah.
You know who Moby Dick's dad is?
Yeah, Papa Boner.
That's right.
Sorry, I already knew that one.
Yeah, I figured that out when I was reading.
Yeah, well, you know what's funny is you know who used to freaking say that one back in the day all the time, and much love to him because he's the reason why you're here is Pat Moss.
Oh yeah,
I remember him
yeah,
saying
Pat.
that. Yeah, Pat.
Dude,
but
Pat was one of the surfers that I really liked.
yeah, he's another real one too, man. You know, he marched to the beat of his own drum too.
And not only that, Pat was always down to have a good time.
Oh yeah.
And I was
He's not
just
gonna
on
shy
Kauai
from
with
that.
him, and you know he's straight and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's
and
doing great.
Like, but we still hung out and had a good time.
Yeah, for sure.
We actually we went surfing and the waves weren't that good, so we ditched our boards and we ended up body surfing.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
Oh, this last time when you guys were just in Kauai?
Yeah, because I mean I was kind of hurt anyway, so it's hard to stand up.
Right on.
And Pat actually had a couple good waves.
Where'd you
know,
guys go?
wanna
Like
surf.
Secrets or something?
Yeah.
Right on, because that's a fun beach break right there,
And-
especially for body surfing.
And
too.
we were body surfing, you know, like, so it was cool because, like, I don't really care. Body surfing, boogie boarding,
Yeah,
stand up paddle, surfing, whatever. Like, I just like riding waves.
yeah,
And it was pretty cool, like, because there was nobody around, just me and him.
yeah. That's killer, dude.
And so, yeah, we surfed and then we ended up body surfing.
Yeah, that's rad. See, you guys, there's a good fact right there. Even when Christian's injured, just the love for the ocean. Doesn't matter what it is.
I was bodyboarding the other day.
You know, bodyboarding, all that. So
Because I've been staying with my cousin and her boyfriend. They do the this stuff here.
oh yeah,
Unfucked.
yeah.
And
Sober company, guys. They make sure your life becomes unfucked.
yeah, and they just, you know, they help people out. And like I've seen, there's been a couple of people that have come through the house like 3 times since I've been there, because like they let them stay on the couch, get them clean, just
Yeah,
and then like try and work it out, get them into a program and stuff like that.
yeah.
And so like I've seen a couple of people come and go like 3 different times. And
Oh yeah, but those are my people, man. I had a homie on Friday. He was at State Beach parking lot, and he was detoxing heavy, and I think he was on like day 12, and he's like, dude, I think I'm gonna have a seizure. And I pull up in on him, and he's laying in his truck and just drenched in sweat and like frozen. I was like, dude, I had to call the ambulance. I was like, he had to go to, but he's doing better now. He's in an actual detox. But case in point with your cousin and her husband, like I love, you know, giving back.
They just like,
Because we went through it too.
well, they've both been there.
Yeah.
And so like they started doing this just because they just spend their own money like helping people out, and so they wanted to do something to offset the cost a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's not a nonprofit, but it's a nonprofit.
For sure. No, I hear you.
Yeah.
And it just feels good to give back because we're, you know, those of us that have struggled with addiction and whatnot have all been in those predicaments where you just needed a little bit of love, a place to kind of collect yourself too, you know.
Yeah, it's been super cool. Like I'm really thankful to be hanging out with them and getting to know them and stuff like that. Like,
yeah.
They're in Cabo fishing right now, and
Sweet.
Yeah.
There
it's
you
pretty
go.
cool.
That's what happens when you get cleaned up. You can go do what you want to do.
Yeah, fishing, bodyboarding, rolling around in the sand in the shore break together.
Yeah.
You know.
That's great.
Yeah. It's
Now,
pretty cool.
I know, Christian, around that time where you were starting to like really make a name for yourself, putting a lot of time in out there at Trestles, and you just started viewing the wave differently, right? You just started seeing.
I viewed it different ever since I was a little kid, just because. I went to skateboard parks. My dad would take us to the skateboard park. Like I said, I was skateboarding Carlsbad in '75. Then like '78, it was Skate Odyssey in Mission Viejo. 1980, it was the Big O.
Yeah.
And
did you ever go to Upland?
no,
I never made it up there either.
no, but like I was best friends with Jason Jesse in elementary school.
Right on. Shout
And
out Jason.
Me and
Jesse.
him learned how to ollie in like 1980.
Sick.
And my dad would take us to the Big O. My dad's got the only old footage of Jason skateboarding is in my dad's archives.
No way.
Yeah, like
That's cool.
yeah. It's me and him skating, and my brother. My brother must have been like, 5 years old or something, maybe 6, and Jason's skateboarding with a Aloha shirt on, like button up and stuff.
Right on, dude.
Yeah,
That's cool to still have that in the archive.
Yeah, like I seen a little bit the other day. I posted something on Instagram or something, and it had us 3 skateboarding at the Big O.
Right on, dude.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's always rad. I'm really grateful. My pops passed back in 2013, but I remember being a
Sorry to hear
kid
that.
and being grateful now because I didn't like it when I was younger of constantly having the old block camcorder on his shoulder.
Oh yeah, this was even before that. This was just straight film.
Yeah, or like, and that, I don't even know what they were using.
Super 8.
Yeah, it's Super 8, that's right. But to have all that now.
But with Super 8, you had to get it transferred
Oh, yeah, that's a whole different
and have a way to
ballpark.
watch it.
Yeah.
Like we never watched it then because it was
Well, that makes sense because he was doing the whole Wave Warriors.
well that was like he was starting to do that. But even when when I was a little kid, he had film because he used film camera, Super 8.
That's so rad, dude.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Now,
They
when
didn't
you-
have video cameras,
Yeah. Now, when you started to compete, right? I know that because I'd read it that there's a bunch of ASP surfers that started complaining about your style of surfing, and I think that's the irony is look at the air game now.
Okay, well here, can we pause for a second?
Yeah.
Okay, so the crazy thing about that is he got that big wave, and that same week I got a wave like this big at Strands, fell off my board, and just got dragged across the sand on my forehead and had like the full rug burn on my forehead.
Totally.
And it was a wave this big, and he got that huge fucker and didn't get a scratch.
It's amazing that waves of consequence like Tiahopu or Chopu. I know
That's where he was, yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's mind-boggling. Like we were just talking about how they come out. Like you said, like a lot of people have passed surfing big waves, but a lot of people can't believe they live surfing those
the
waves.
wipeouts people take are just like, I just looking at Instagram, I see like, I got a fucked up feed on Instagram, but
Oh yeah.
but the wipeouts people take, especially those like the slabs in Australia and Tasmania and stuff, like, dude, people just eat a dog's dick.
Oh man, dude, some of those slabs too. I mean, you can go down the list: Ship Stearns, Ours.
Yeah.
The ones I don't know about.
Yeah, the right.
Yeah, the right. Yeah.
That doesn't even look like.
It doesn't look fun.
It doesn't look makeable.
But
What?
the Aussies, mate.
They're fucking nuts.
You
But
got-
like that wave, it seems like 9 out of 10 waves are wipeouts.
Yeah.
To me, that
I mean, there's
just
staircases within the barrel.
and then it just pinches.
Yeah.
It just seems like that doesn't seem like fucking.
Yeah, the wave totally implodes on itself at the end if you don't make it out.
Well, yeah.
Or even if you do make
it
it
just
out.
goes so small and like kind of closes, but then opens, but closes. Like
Well, then it disappears because once it washes over the slab,
it's
maybe it
deep
hits-
and everything lands on top of you.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just like nine wipeouts to 1 make just doesn't seem like I'd want to put myself in
much-
that position.
Much props to them, dude. No thanks. But I enjoy watching it.
Dude, it's like you don't go to the motorcycle races to watch guys cross the finish line.
Yeah.
You don't watch those slabs to
Yeah.
see guys make it.
Oh, dude, like,
it's rad when somebody does. You're like, whoa, he made it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we are sick-minded, right? People like the crashes too,
Oh yeah.
Like those dudes on the Isle of Man.
Oh, that's my favorite.
Bro.
I mean, I don't necessarily like watching the crashes, but did you see them? And they are just breathtaking.
Zero room for error on that race. Zero room.
Well, no, not necessarily, because some guys you see just get the crazy tank slappers and somehow pull out of it. Like I saw one video where a guy goes over the bars, and his helmet is on his fender, and he's riding, and he climbs back onto the seat and keeps going,
Doing 90.
or faster.
Yeah, or faster. But I know there's some of those corners in there, dude. They're hitting them so fast. If you drop, there's
Some of them you see like they show slow motion. You can't see in fast motion, but then they go back and show it in slow motion, and the guy's shoulder is touching the fucking
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
the rock walls. like just skimming the rock wall.
I've always respected MotoGP, Isle of Man. If you guys get a chance, watch some of that stuff. It's all over YouTube. These guys just going mock.
What about the Isle of Man sidecars?
Yeah, that's stupid. I mean, it's cool, but like, you're on a motorcycle, and the dude in the sidecar has no control.
The
over
monkey.
Yeah.
Oh no, he does have a lot of control though.
Well, I know his weight just.
He's the one that makes you or breaks you.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but you know,
it's like a sander of a surfboard.
Yeah, totally. I guess you're right, but at the same token, it's like he's not holding the throttle either.
No.
But I do love all that stuff. Like you, Christian, are just risk takers, thrill seekers,
yeah,
adrenaline junkies.
I got adrenaline issues for sure.
Yeah. Well, this new ACL is, props to adrenaline, the pursuit of the adrenal gland.
What happened to you?
I just washed out in Borrego. It was nothing special. I wasn't going fast. I tried to cut through. We're going through this basically a wash, dry riverbed, and I was trying to catch up to Elliot Sloan. This board's right on the wall, and he's a good rider, but I'm not.
He's fucking gnarly.
Yeah, he's gnarly, but he was on his bike, and I could see him. He was probably like 300 yards ahead of me, and it was S turns. So I tried to here's the S's. I tried to cut through it like a dollar sign, right? Like a line through the S's, and I hit a rut, and I was maybe going 10, 15 miles an hour. Naturally stuck my right foot out, and all that pressure just shot through my knee. I landed, and I was like laying on the ground going, oh, and my head goes.
Oh, you like hyperextended it?
Yeah. And I knew something snapped because I could hear it snap, not audibly, but in my head.
Ooh.
And then I got up and I was adrenaline dumping, and my voice just goes, hey, dude, you got this adrenaline. Pick your bike up and try to start it. So I rode it all the way out. They had stopped at that point because they got so far ahead and waited for me. And I didn't say nothing to them because I didn't want to put the bad juju out there. But we had another 6 miles, got to, I think it's called SR-71, one of the highways out there. Goes all the way to like Salton Sea. And Ellie and some of my other buddies were sitting there waiting, and we're on our way. Of course, it was the last day, and that was our last ride, and going back to camp to pack up and leave. And I got there, go, hey guys, I'm done for the day. I go, I blew my knee out. I just didn't want to say nothing. Like, what? And I was like, yeah, we still got another 10 miles to ride to camp. But case in point, I'm going to get back on my bike when this is, and my skateboard and my surfboard. It's like, it just, people, you know what I don't like about when people get injured? It's like, oh, you still skate or you still surf? Yeah. You know what your problem is you stopped,
I just crashed on the freeway. Yeah. On a GSXR 1000.
Oh, I remember you told me that.
Dude, I rear-ended a car doing like 90, or like I was downshifting from doing 90 or whatever, because like you're not supposed to ride on seizure medication. You're not supposed to operate heavy equipment or a motor vehicle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't listen very well.
Yeah.
And
we know.
Yeah, but I got the back wheel or the front wheel out from behind the car, and so I took the most of the impact with my shoulder. I dislocated and separated my shoulder and jacked up my knee as well. And the same thing, like I picked up my bike. The car took off. I picked up my bike. My bike started, and I looked over, and there was like 9 lanes of freeway stopped, staring at me, everybody on their telephone. I'm like, holy shit, fucking. I got out of there, got off on Seal Beach Boulevard, and then first stoplight, my front brakes locked up, and I crashed again. But now I didn't have any adrenaline. It was so hard lifting my bike up with the dislocated shoulder and shit, and like I couldn't get it out of the road, and nobody got out to help me either time. Finally, I just parked my bike in the middle of the street and said, "Hey, can somebody give me some fucking help around here?" So guys helped me drag it off the street, and then my buddy came and got me a AAA back home.
Dang, so you didn't even go to the hospital or nothing. You just made sure your bike was taken care of, and then.
Well, dude, yeah, I had to get off the fucking freeway.
Well, no, I know, but did you go to the hospital at all eventually?
No. I went and saw Dr. G. Yeah. Dr. G.
Yeah, and then what? Did you get some physical therapy done?
He jiggled my shoulder back into place.
There you go. Boom.
And sent me on my way.
There you go.
Went
home, had a cigarette and a coffee, and called it good.
Dude, I had a coffee at Dr. G's.
That's so rad.
Yeah, he's I love the guy. I'd like to see him more, but at the same time, I'm glad I don't, because I only go there when I'm hurt. And,
yeah, for sure.
But he always takes care of me. He's all, "Did you go to the doctor?" I said, "Yeah, I'm here. I came to see you."
Yeah, he's like, well,
yeah. I mean, fucking, yeah, Dr. G is the man. Like, whenever I get hurt, like, yeah, I don't usually go to, like,
Yeah.
get x-rays.
Unless you really need to. That's
yeah,
a
he's like,
different
did you
story.
get x-rays? I'm like, no, like,
How's it feel now?
better than it did, I tell you. But then I was following my kid and Omar and Yoda skateboarding in Huntington and crashed and hurt my
Oh,
wrist.
that's right. You got to.
Same arm.
Yeah.
So that's why I've been boogie boarding.
Yeah. You know, that's what I love about you, though, Christian. You still stay out in the ocean.
Yeah, and like I'm on a motorcycle today. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. By the way, you guys, he rode. Is it the same bike?
no.
Oh yeah, you were on a Gixxer. That's right.
Yeah, and like it's like not the most legal thing. So
Yeah. Well, you know,
yeah,
generally,
I had these plates on that bike, and
it still works.
oh yeah, like I've been trying to stay out of trouble because I want to be able to travel and
Well, it looks like you've been doing pretty good.
yeah, and like the way I was living before, like if you get any felonies, like I can't go to Japan and stuff, and I love Japan like more than anything.
We were just talking about Japan earlier because he was there for a work trip for Lumix. Shout out to Lumix cameras, by the way.
Yeah, Lumix.
And then Matt Dang You, or is it Darn You? Yeah. Christian, I want to cycle back though before we took our last break. So
Yeah.
we've all read the articles, you know, of the hate that was spewed towards you because you brought a different dynamic. You didn't care what anyone else think. You weren't the polished pro that they wanted in so many of those editorials and
I
articles.
mean, I wasn't polishing.
Yeah, well, and you weren't doing you weren't polishing other people's chrome domes.
Oh, yeah. I'm
You
good on
know.
that one.
What do you have to tell everybody now, Christian?
Uh,
Same thing you did back then.
yeah, no, like I already.
I mean, I'm sure you're friends with some of those guys now, right? If you see them in pass.
Oh, like I'm a fake friend with everybody, just like they are with me.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah.
I say hello, I shake their hand. Hey, what's up, dude? Smile, and I'm on my way. Like, cause back then my feelings were super hurt, and like I don't deal with that very well. So like, instead of getting like bummed out, I got pissed off.
Yeah.
And so the way I put a smile on my face was by going out and ruining their days. I thought that was great, and it was so easy too.
Yeah. Well, you know, God forbid a guy competes against you and doesn't do the turns you want to see.
Oh yeah, and I had no problem taking an interference.
Yeah.
Like, I make sure I gave them one too. But not only that, like it was just the judges and it was all stacked against me.
Yeah. Well, you didn't.
But you know what? Hey,
You didn't fit the mold.
no, but you know what? I won. Because you go to any beach in the world and you see kids launching airs. They thought it was just going to be some like fad or something like that. But like
No.
every single contest, like.
I'm surprised you're not doing guest appearances or something over with the Stab dudes. Speaking of Japan, because I know that's this. Isn't it
But
this
the
week?
butt stabbers?
Yeah, butt stab. Yeah.
They-
Well, or how do you feel about that now?
They don't invite me to nothing. They invite my brother.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, that's not what he was known for. He didn't even want to do airs. Like he does them really good. Don't get me wrong, but I mean,
Yeah.
they're a bunch of fucking mag.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I still don't get invited to nothing, but I'm cool with that because you know, like I could.
Yeah,
do
but
it.
you're also kind of on your own journey right now.
Oh,
too.
and I could do without hanging out with those guys.
Like you said, you don't have to walk around.
I don't kiss anybody's ass and like.
Well, you don't have to walk around those events and act fake, right? Just for the time being, and then leave.
No, that's part of the problem too. Is like, yeah, I got a big mouth, so if I can, I think I make them feel a little insecure.
But now, tell me this though.
My brother's a little bit more like I don't know. My brother's he doesn't talk a whole lot, you know.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. No, you.
like if I have my mouth shit start spraying everywhere, and people fucking get their feelings hurt really easy, you know.
Totally. You know. Well, hey, guess what though? You know,
Somebody's got to do it.
Someone's got to do it, but also, you took the heat back then for a style of surfing that you just thought was cool, and you weren't going to fit anybody's mold.
And I still don't. So I'm cool with that.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, and people are all, oh, you deserve more recognition and shit, and whatever. To me, that doesn't really matter, because the people that count know.
Yeah.
And the rest of them don't count.
Yeah.
That's the way I look at it. Because when it comes down to it, the guys that all the skaters know.
For sure.
And to me, that's what counts. They know, and the people for instance, Bruce and Andy Irons, those kind of people, they know.
Yeah.
And those are people that count in my book.
Yeah, for sure.
Because they're two of my favorites. Bruce is my favorite free surfer.
Yeah.
Andy was my favorite world champion.
Totally.
Even Kelly Slater knows, whether he'll admit it or not, but he used to ask me what maneuvers I was working on for, over 10 years.
Totally.
So
that's the insight. See, that's the little nuggets we like to hear.
Yeah. The people that count, they know.
Right.
And the rest of the people, whatever, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, because I know as a renegade and a trailblazer, that's exactly why you're that, because you're going to cut your own groove, your own path, and it doesn't matter what other people say or think. You're going to do what you're going to do.
Yeah, I was so far ahead that I was behind.
For sure.
Which,
yeah, that's a great way to put it right there.
And
do you still like to see a cool innovation at Airzo at least? Because that's your stamp.
Oh yeah, no, I get.
I don't care if people watch this and don't agree with you and me.
Me neither. For instance, Pedro Barros. You see that big tweaked indie air he did in the in the wave pool? That was sick.
Amazing.
Yeah, so that got me super stoked. I even sent him a message how that was really inspiring for me, because you don't see that on a surfboard, because it's usually surfers that are doing it.
For sure.
And dude, I still got tricks I was doing in the 80s they don't do today. And it kind of sucks. Get an imagination or something, or get some inspiration from other places.
Some of your stale fishes, dude. To this day, that's my favorite.
Yeah, well, and now that's the big trick.
Yeah,
it's everybody does a stale fish. In the stab thing.
Yeah,
it was all about the one in Japan, right? It was all about stale fishes.
Yeah,
whether it was a stale fish.
I think it was Eton Osborne.
Yeah, he's pretty rad. I like that kid.
No, he's a good kid. No, I definitely know. But no, I mean,
he does. I seen him do an anti-judo.
Yeah.
And I asked him what it was. He didn't even know what it was. And so I was explaining it to him. But it was just cool that he did it. Whether he knows what it is or not, he's still out there pushing it.
Yeah.
And I thought that was super cool. He's pretty rad, and he's pretty innovative,
For sure.
But for the most part, the surfers, they make the same tricks. They fall on the same tricks. There's not you don't really see a lot of people doing other stuff. Mason Ho, he's a badass. I love watching Mason surf.
Yeah, for sure. He's definitely he's another trailblazer too, because he'll do a contest or a wild card here and there, but he doesn't care.
But not only that, just watching him, he's got
his innovation.
Yeah, and you could tell he surfs because he loves to surf.
Yeah,
he's having fun.
Yes.
You watch him in the tube, at Desert Point and stuff. He'll be grabbing this way, grabbing that way, no hands, doing a layback, all in the same wave.
I heard there's rumors of you that at Desert Point you got barreled and did the zombie just feet forward here.
Oh yeah,
he must have freaked everyone out.
Oh well, I was before I ever did that.
Were you
I
high
was
on mushrooms at the time.
Acid, desert zombies on acid. Yeah, fucking thanks to Rory Parker. Fucking R.I.P. Rory.
Oh, rest in peace.
Dude.
But I heard that story.
Okay, so you want? I'll tell you the story. I went for 9 days. I ended up staying for 1 year and 3 months. Got arrested in the airport when I came home, but that's a whole different story. So we're at Desert Point, and I was telling everybody when we were at dinner, it was Rory and Makua and Bobby Watanabe and some of the Ruka kids, and I was telling them about the zombie, and they were all laughing at me at dinner. Like, oh yeah, right, fucking, you're gonna do what? Sure you are. And like I was like, whatever. And so,
God, it's so gnarly.
yeah. So the next day we're surfing, and like I do laps there. I catch waves down, I get out, and I walk back, right, and then watch my buddies get barreled or whatever, and jump back into the top of the point. And these kids came up to me, and they were all, hey Christian, some guy fucking gave us a present for you. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, the fuck gave me a present, dude? We're in the middle of nowhere, you know what I mean? Like what are you talking about? And they run up and they grab this fucking thing. They come back down. And they had a fucking piece of cardboard from like a 12-pack of beers, and
But it had acid.
it had acid dripped on it. They're all, yeah, the guy said to give you the big one. Like, fuck, sick. And so I ate that, and then I, continued surfing, and dude, this guy comes paddling up. He's all, what's up, Christian? I'm all, nothing. He's all, fucking, my name's Terrace. And like Terrace passed as well. Like, phew. He was a hero of mine.
Yeah, rest in peace.
And that was the first time I met the dude, But he's like, oh, did you get that present I gave you? I'm all, oh, that was you? I'm all, yeah, sick. Thanks, dude. And so like I continued surfing, and then like everybody was on the beach after surfing, like in the afternoon, like everybody, they're all surfed out and they're drinking beers, and me, like I hadn't got to go on surf trips that much at the time, like, and so I was gonna surf as long as I could, you know what I mean? Waves were sick, and while everybody was on the beach, right in front of where I was at, I got a set wave and pulled up parallel stance on a big one, and just got shacked right while everybody's on the beach drinking beers. They're all honking their horn and hooting and shit. And so I was pretty stoked.
That's badass.
Well, because it went from the day before dinner time, everybody laughing at me. I was like, whatever.
Do the zombie.
Yeah.
And then you did it.
Yeah, Desert Zombies on acid. Just got a big one and came out of it too.
That's so sick.
I was pumped in front of everybody that was laughing at me.
Well, and I don't think people realize if you do surf, if you're standing with your feet going
parallel
to the board,
you got no balance.
And you're at Desert Point where you got cheese grater.
Cheese grater.
And it freight trains too, but you probably locked your line and just felt it.
Well, I just pulled up and then parked it.
No shit.
Yeah,
dude.
and like when you
pulled it.
Yeah, when you take your like if the lip hits you when you're going forward like that, it's pretty easy to tip over because you got no way to counterbalance yourself, you know.
For sure.
But
yeah, you're done if that.
But the thing is when you take your foot and move it into the center of your board, you got no drag, so you go super fast.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's a trip.
That makes sense. I'm gonna have to try it one day.
Yeah, so like
minus the Desert Point.
Pull up and like it was big enough where I could stand tall with like my feet together, and like you go extra fast.
Yeah,
and the lip did hit me a little bit on the way out, but I got lucky and pulled it. Bend the knees.
You got to go in and give them an all I told you so.
Oh, just fucking. They already knew.
I was gonna say you're probably melted at that point too.
Oh, they already knew, like, because yeah, they're all honking their horn and just like they couldn't believe it, And I was like, fuck, yeah.
That's so sick. I got a funny first time finally getting to meet him because
who's laughing now, huh?
Yeah. We are. But this was back at I talked to you about this when I saw you at Tom Sharp's premiere. But when Moss was like, "Hey, dude, we're gonna go surf with Christian. We're gonna go up to the Trestles," and this was when Nike was called Nike 6.0, and that was the Nike 6.0 Trestles Pro. But we met up with you at the time, and I just got out from my second prison term, and I'm like, dude, I get to go surf with Christian Fletcher? Well, hell yeah. So we met up with you. We kind of set some of our stuff that was like at the comp, and I could tell you were already over it, and you're like, yeah, let's go surf uppers, dude. So we paddled uppers, and I shit you not, Christian paddles out, catch the first set that comes in, boosts this big, huge stink bug air, looks back at us, flips us off, and goes in. One wave, one air, flipped us off.
Yeah, one and done, dude.
And I was just like, dude, legend. And then of course when you went in, because I'm all, fanboy, and I am with all my athletes. Like I have the best job in the world because I get to meet some of my heroes. But with that being said, I was like, want to hang out, and like you just had vanished. I know you didn't want to hang out any longer, and I don't think we did either. But.
Oh no, like I love Pat. I love hanging out with Pat.
But it was at the comp. There was like so many, how Trestles
yeah. I
gets.
was fucking.
Speaking of, are you going to go to the Trestles? Is coming to town, Chris. You going to go say hi to everybody?
What, the Olympics?
No. The WSL's the next stop is here in a week and a half.
Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah. Oh, rightfully so.
Yeah. I could go hang out. Why not?
But well, yeah. If you go, because I might just go check it out. It's right here. But
let's go live on the point.
Yeah. Okay, we can. Well, definitely get Matt over there too. He might be in Cabo at that point. But
oh, are you gonna be in Cabo?
June? Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, because they have a break because they just finished Margaret River in the box, and then everyone's flying back over here for Trestles, so they usually give him a little break. So he's probably gone by then. But anyways, that's beside the fact. One thing I want to know too, Christian, at what point when you were finally like, I'm just gonna blaze my own trail. I'm tired of these dudes wolfing. They're complaining about my errors.
Oh, I didn't really have a choice.
Yeah.
They like after I won the contest at Trestles, like I fucking they did that interview with the letter and stuff, and I talked shit about everybody, because they asked me what I thought about each and every person that signed it in the middle of the interview. I got set up in the middle of the interview. They showed me a petition that all these guys wrote.
Right.
So what do you think about that letter Sean Thompson and Jeff Booth wrote? I'm all, what letter? And they showed it to me and kind of just caught me way off guard, and then all the signatures of everybody. And then asked me what I thought about each and every person. And I didn't have a whole lot of nice things to say.
Well, rightfully so.
Yeah. And so I couldn't, with that contest, the one that I won, the first two heats were a little shaky, but then because I had just coming off a knee injury myself, but then I had to beat people so bad that there was it couldn't be close at all, or I was losing.
Right.
And so then after that, I couldn't make it out of a heat. They weren't even gonna let me fucking go anywhere.
Yeah.
The next year was, I don't know if you heard about the muffin in the judge's tower I was throwing, and
oh, no way.
I got kicked out of everything for a couple years. Ian brought me my check, my muffin, and my fucking Morbid Angel Napalm Death tape that I had him playing.
Yeah.
It was back when it was cassette tapes.
Oh yeah, they weren't ready for that.
And kicked me off the beach. He told me I was no longer welcome on the beach.
Jeez.
And dude, he just returned something I threw at somebody, and so he turned around and I threw it fucking and hit him in the back of the neck and told him he was no longer welcome in our country. Go back to Australia, you fucking kook.
Well, I know you had the beef with Sean Thompson too.
Oh yeah, and I had.
What was that one about?
That was about.
Let the people know.
Oh well, Sean, he snaked me when I was a kid, at Pipeline. So I waited for a couple hours to get him back, and I got him at back door. And he was so pissed, screaming and yelling. And then he wrote that petition in the magazine, against me being in the magazine and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so,
well, I read too that they had the ASP servers. There's 16 unanimous votes against basically you or that style, or against errors or how they should judge it.
Oh, there was.
I'm sure that wasn't the only.
The top 32 signed the petition that was against me being in the magazines. And only 3 of them didn't sign it out of 32. So what's that? 29 signed it. Everybody signed it. And the funny thing is where are all of them now?
Well, not only that, the funny thing is look at errors now.
Oh yeah.
I honestly do. I'll say after all that, I think you won because
no, I won.
I think
for sure.
Any sport without expression and innovation just becomes ho hum.
Well, not only that, dude, how many cutbacks can you do before you get bored? You know what I mean?
For sure.
No, I won because you go to any beach in the world and you see kids launching errors. I've seen it all over the world, even in remote places like the Mentawais, the kids are like local kids are launching
Yeah.
airs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
So yeah,
man.
I win.
100%.
Fucking.
Yeah, 100%. I agree that you win too, man.
Yeah.
I know.
And you know what? I'm still around. I still like, they still mention my name at the contests and stuff like that. There's like,
Well, I think it's coming around the block, dude, where people are like realizing certain things after all. You know, those big corporate entities are so guarded.
But check it out. They all the people that like were against me and all that stuff, they all pretend to be my friend now. Like, and like they're always had my back kind of, and like it's fake, but whatever. Like, I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Hey,
I don't.
they know that I know.
And that's all that matters at the end of the day. But I also think, too, a lot of people that generally do like you, they like your character, too. They like the fact that there's the renegade still lives.
And some of them, the fans and stuff, the people, they loved me, but the industry hated me.
Yeah, great point.
And, like, I understand, though, because, like, if what I was doing would have been accepted, then it's the big companies that sponsor the events, they pay for the ads in the magazines, they sponsor the fucking surfers, and they sponsor the contest, the surfers, and run ads in the magazines.
Yeah.
And so if all of a sudden those guys are all kind of obsolete, like, where does that leave the whole industry?
For sure.
Kind of upsets the whole thing.
Yeah.
So they couldn't really let me do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I do understand that.
Right.
But at the same time, fucking, they could all fuck off too.
Yeah.
Because, like,
Well, it never mattered to you anyways.
yeah, no, like, and dude, I could have made a lot of money if I just could keep my mouth shut, but that wasn't in my nature. So
Yeah,
whatever.
and who knows? A lot of that money with the struggles you had with addiction and whatnot could have put you in the ground too. You know, because you could do that without having a lot of money.
Oh, I did.
Yeah. You know.
But yeah, whatever. Like, fucking, life goes on, and like I said, the people that know, or the people that count know, and the people that don't know don't count. So whatever.
Yeah.
And the kids are still stoked. Like I saw a kid at the skate park, and he was young, like maybe 13 or 14, and he's all, "Hey, will you sign my skateboard?" Oh, yeah, no problem. I'm all like, "Why are you asking me to sign your skateboard?" Because he was like a little skater kid, He's all, "Because you're a legend." I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
Well, you actually know who I am? He's all, "Yeah, you." And it's like, and I was like, "Wow, that's cool." Like, fucking, because I didn't expect. I just thought he thought like I was a pro skater or something,
Yeah.
But yeah,
I love that.
Yeah, he was pumped.
And also, I think it's fair. Like, if I'd love to have kids one day, but maybe not. But anyways, if I'm raising my kid and they're surf skate rats, they're gonna know who the legends are.
Oh yeah.
Because you have the new blood, which is sick, which your direct lineage now.
Oh,
Grayson's just absolutely killing it.
Oh yeah, and yeah, that was kind of a natural progression. Like, my dad was gnarly. He's a gnarly innovator and stuff, and so he's the only one that really like had my back on the whole thing. He's all, "Just keep doing what you're doing. Don't listen to those guys. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about." And I was like, "Yeah, cool." Like, and so I kept doing what I was doing, and I hung out with skateboarders and stuff, And my kid was a direct result of me skateboarding, and surfing the way I did, because I rode a skateboard.
Yeah.
So like that was the next step, was he turned into a professional skater. I was skateboarding on the waves.
For sure.
And so he just was a skateboarder, and now he actually surfs. Like, boy, he's pretty gnarly surfing too. He takes wipeouts that I wouldn't want to take. That's for sure.
Attaboy. That's in the blood. That's for sure.
Finally get to go surfing with my kid and stuff. So that's cool.
Yeah. It's been cool to watch you kind of like in the progression as being a father too. With a lot of time, I know you've been as of late spending with Grayson.
Oh
too.
yeah. Like, I couldn't be happier on the situation. Like, watching him, like, he's my favorite skater, but then there's so many of the old school pros that they're so pumped. Like, "Dude, your kid's my favorite skater." And I'm like, "Sick, thank you." Like, and so, because he looks like he's rode a surfboard his whole life, but he didn't start surfing until, I don't know, 10, 12 years ago, something like that.
Right.
14 years ago, maybe. Like, time flies, I guess. But, yeah, he just, all the, like, he's like fan favorite for all the older pros and stuff.
Well, he's your favorite skater's favorite skater.
Yeah.
Take it from a guy that's been blessed to work with a lot of pro skaters, most in this area, off and on. Everybody loves Grayson. And how can you not?
For me, at the end of the day, what I'm the most stoked on, like, yeah, he skates great, but people all come up to me, they're like, wow, your kid's like so polite and so well-mannered and nice, and oh, he helped my kid at the skate park because he's good with kids, you know?
Yeah.
And so, like, that means more to me than all the rest of the bullshit. Like,
Yeah.
that's cool, you know?
No, I think that's great. And also lets everybody know, like, that, you know, that I really, truly think that Fletcher lineage is about not only progression, but stoking out the next human to push themselves, too.
Yeah, well, we like to see people, like, do rad shit.
Your brother, Grayson, look at the lineage of your family, you know, your aunt was a world champ, your dad, you know, your mom, your uncles.
It's just yeah, the whole family is pretty extreme, you know, like both sides. And like extremists are bad except for sports.
For
like
sure.
Everything else, because like
an extremist is an extremist.
Yeah, well, like for instance, you know, you get the Catholics and the Protestants, they kill each other. Muslims with the terrorism, like whatever, the Roman feeding the Christians to the lions, like just extremists of any kind except for sports are no good.
Yeah, for sure. We took it and at least made it a little bit more feasible than extremists and freaking in the historical facts.
Yeah, we go out and, like, you know, gamble with our lives instead of, you know, other people's.
It's fun.
Oh yeah,
it's super fun. Oh, dude, I love it. And then kind of wrapping up, Christian, what are you kind of doing now, man? Are you just enjoying, you know, I know you're enjoying the path with your kid.
What I'm doing now is I'm just waiting for my fairy tale ending.
Yeah. Well, I think we're seeing it, brother. You know, you're doing good, clean, sober.
Yeah,
hanging out with your kid.
Like, it ain't the fairy tale ending yet. I'll let you know when that comes. Because, like, a lot of people have tried to get me to do documentaries and stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm not done yet. Like, I ain't doing one until I got a fairy tale ending.
I remember you and I were talking about that a while back. You're like,
I'm working on it, but I'll give you an update.
Yeah. Well, I understand. You want to be where you feel comfortable telling your story.
Well, not only that, like if you watch a movie and it doesn't have a good ending, doesn't matter how good the movie was, you're like pissed.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got to have a fairy tale ending first.
Yeah.
And if I die before that happens, then I guess that's the end of the movie.
Right. Well, you know what? I hope that doesn't
I
happen.
hope it has a bitchin' soundtrack, though.
Because, you know, I still would like to go on a moto trip with you, a surf trip with you, skate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm down.
You know, we're both injured right now, but I think you'll heal. Unless you get injured again, you'll heal, because my knee, I'm still probably another 10 months out. So.
Yeah, and let's get Pat going.
Yeah, Pat too, man, all of us. Well, you guys.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead, Christian.
And yeah, maybe we could go to Indo or something and go visit my buddy's fucking nightclub. Give me shelter.
Yep.
Yeah, Monty.
Yeah, what's his name?
Monty J.
Yeah, Monty J.
Yeah, he has the sickest, like, rock and roll club.
Heck yeah, that's rad, man.
And
you want to say hi to your mom or your dad or your brother?
Oh, yeah, I'd like to say hi to everybody. Like, especially the nephews. What up, Laser? What up, Jetson?
Yeah, brother. Heck yeah. Well, we love you, Christian. I know so many people I know love you. I was so stoked to finally get you on the podcast.
I got love for all of them, too. Like, life's good.
You know, you do really, like, whether you're waiting for your fairy tale ending, I see it personally happen just from my viewpoint of, like, stoked watching you with your son and just cruising around with everybody. You know, the other night at the premiere with Omar, listening to your old war stories. And then who were you with, too? Sergi?
Oh, Sergi Ventura,
You guys tell me the one where, like, you put your butt on someone's shoulder.
No, that was Sergi did that. Yeah, he did the atomic butt slide down Jonathan Pasquit's arm. That was great.
The atomic butt slide.
Yeah. Like, Sergi and Omar, I love those guys.
Yeah, dude. But it's cool to see, you know, you coming around back in the mix with everybody, and because I know you had your hiatus, but you're doing great. And you know what? Like his Instagram says, you guys, Christian Fletcher lives. He's right here.
Yeah,
right
that ain't no joke now.
Yeah, and it ain't over.
No,
we're searching for fairy tales right now.
Yeah, I just like to say thanks to everybody that showed support and helped me out. You know, through thick and thin. Like, it's been really cool. Like, there's, you know, especially Chad and Summer with Unfucked. You know, they've really helped me out and taken care of me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I know a lot of people love you, Christian. I'm definitely one of them.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Dude, I'm stoked for you coming.
Thanks, Matt.
Yeah,
sick
thanks,
job,
Matt,
dude.
too. You guys, this is Pros and Cons Podcast. I believe, I could be wrong. This is episode 10. I'm blessed. This is a legend that I've grew up watching.
Hey, I'm kind of not either anymore, though.
Yeah, you are. Yeah. What would you say earlier? You're like, I was so far ahead of myself, I was behind.
Yeah, I was so far ahead that I was behind.
Yeah, I like that one. We're going to keep that one right there. And you guys remember, dude, live like Christian, man. Push your limits. Have fun doing it. And
live like me, just don't act like me.
Yeah. Well, you know. But appreciate you guys. Pros and Cons, episode 10.
Thanks,
Booyah.
Brandon. Yeah, hell yeah.
Yee. Right on, Christian. That was sick, dude.
Hey, you know what else? I'd like to give a shout out to the Positive Vibe Warriors. They're like my favorite surfers there is.
Oh, dude, the Gadalsis brothers.
Yeah, they're so cool.
Shout out to the Positive Vibes and so many of those cool people out there that are spreading that, and Rip too.
Oh yeah, just all the fucking surfers and skaters and everything. All the ones that are out there just pushing their limits. Like it's crazy if you're it's crazy with skateboarding. If you're pushing your limits for yourself, everybody's banging their board and happy. And surfers, like, if you're not out there ripping, you suck.
For sure.
That's fucked up.
It's funny you said. I always say this one, too. You can show up to a skate park in Marseille, France, and have this kindred connection with any skater there because you're a skater, too, no matter where you're from in the world and what you look like.
You show up as a surfer and they hate you.
But you go show up to Kalihiwai, and
or even Mundaka, wherever.
There's plenty of places. That's the first one I remember. And you better know somebody and not sit in the pack. Or don't show up at all because surfing just doesn't work that way.
And if you don't rip, you're a kook.
Yeah. And
That's fucked up.
Yeah, I know. That's cool. There's a discrepancy in the two right there. But we love them
I tried to
both.
bridge the gap though.
Yeah, I know. Same, man. It's all about bridging the gap. Right on, Christian.
Yep. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks,
brother.
everybody.
Thank you too, Christian.
Yep. Right on, Brandon.
And thank you too, Matt.